Everyone, it's Shannon here for Honeybee Stamps. In today's video, we are going to make this elegant yet simple card by combining the lovely layers Anemone Honey Cuts with mirrored cardstock. We're going to start out with those lovely layers Anemone Honey Cuts die set. This is a layering set. So the flower actually has 3 dies to create the flower petals and 3 dies for the centers. I'm going to combine this, like I said, with mirrored cardstock. I'm going to just use a gold and a red. These mirrored cardstocks are a little bit more on the matte or satin side, which I do think adds to the look of the card. So if you can get kind of a more matte mirrored cardstock, I would recommend it. So I went ahead and die cut all my layers out to create my flowers. I'm starting here with the petals, layering those 3 layers one on top of the other. I am only adding glue though, however, to the very center of those petals. That will allow me to kind of lift and kind of fluff that paper up a little bit so we have a little bit more dimension. I went ahead and adhere all the center pieces together, and as you can see, I cut some of them out of white and black cardstock, and then that very center I did the mirrored gold. So now that I finished one flower, I'm just going to repeat that process to create my second flower. So I have 2 identical flowers. Here you see me actually kind of puffing up those petals a little bit more to create some more dimension. Now I'm going to move on to my sentiment. I have the Inside Holiday Sentiment set. This is a great set for stamping a sentiment that can go on the front as well as kind of your inside sentiment of your card. I love stamp sets like this. I love being able to stamp a sentiment on the inside of my card. I went ahead and pulled off Season's Greetings, and I'm stamping it onto some black cardstock. I stamped it in Versamark ink because I'm going to do some heat embossing. Of course, I dipped it into the gold embossing powder, and now I'm heat setting with my heat tool. Now this set has matching dies, so I'm going to grab them here. Again, this is the Inside Holidays Sentiments matching dies or honey cuts. So I went ahead and pulled off my coordinating die, lined it up, used a little piece of tape to hold it in place, and then ran it through my die cutting machine, and now I have this perfectly cut sentiment for my card. And that really wraps up all my components. So now I'm ready to put this together. I'm starting with a piece of cream cardstock. It's actually a little bit smaller than an A2 panel, and I added some adhesive to the back side and placed it on an A2 top folding white card base. That will create a little border by keeping that panel a little bit smaller than an A2 card panel. Now I'm going to go ahead and glue my flowers down in the center, kind of creating just a little center arrangement with my flowers. Next are my leaves, and this is just the same leaf die cut 3 times out, so repeatedly die cut out. And again, I use that mirrored gold cardstock. I did only add adhesive to the very centers of the flowers again, so that allows me to kind of lift them up a little bit and tuck my leaves under. And thank goodness I'm using liquid adhesive because that gives me a little bit of wiggle room, which you saw me move those flowers around a little bit to kind of get my positioning right. Now that my flowers and leaves are where I want them, I'm going to go ahead and move on to my sentiment. I'm going to cut very thin strips of foam adhesive and add it to the back of my sentiment, but I will double up that foam adhesive at the tail end of my sentiment, at basically the season part, or no, the greetings part. That's just because that part is going to actually not come in contact with the flowers. It's going to come in contact with just the base, and that will make sure that sentiment sits more evenly because of all that thickness on the flowers on the left side. And that actually completes my card. I can hold it to the camera here and you can see how beautiful that looks with the shiny mirrored cardstock. It's such a fun and super elegant card, and it was very, very easy to kind of put together. I hope you guys enjoyed today's card and video. If any questions about the products I use, please check out the links below in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.